If you've seen videos of me lift, whether it's deadlift, squat, or the Olympic lifts, you would notice that I never ever wear a belt. And I do this on purpose. I've seen people ask, why do you never use a belt? Bam, kenapa kamu nggak pernah pakai belt? Bukannya itu harus ya? Some people actually think wearing a belt is a must. And they say, oh, it's to prevent injury. Well, now I'm gonna ask you, why? Why is it to prevent injury? Do you even know why people say the belt is to prevent injury? Do you want to know what the reason is? You probably do not know. So in this video, I will explain to you exactly how I lift heavy without a belt. And not only do I lift heavy without a belt, but I also stay fine. I've never been injured in my entire life due to a lifting accident. And it's definitely not because of a belt. I'm gonna tell you exactly how it works, including the physics on how a belt actually works. So the next time, and I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not saying you shouldn't use a belt as well. This entire video is about why I don't use a belt, and I'm gonna explain everything about it, the physics as well. So when you actually use a belt, if you decide to use a belt, you actually know what the purpose is. Okay, so first of all, I've written here, what's the purpose of a belt? Quite literally, the function of a belt is to support in increasing the intra-abdominal pressure. Yeah, that's kind of a fancy science word, right? I'll just make it simple. Basically, it helps you do bracing. What is bracing? First of all, if you don't know what bracing is, you probably don't even deserve to use a belt. I'm just gonna be harsh, but that's why I told you I'm gonna explain fully, so you know how to actually make a decision. So basically, bracing is, you know how you breathe, you take in oxygen, you also take in air, you can make yourself stiff like that. It's not about just holding your breath. There's a proper technique to do it. And TLDR, if you can brace well, you will lift heavier. And because a belt supports the intra-abdominal pressure, which is assisting the bracing, it basically makes you brace better. Therefore, it increases your lifts as well. It allows you to lift heavier. It supports you. It basically just supports your lifts. That's why people use belts when they want to do a PR, right? Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Here, I'm just gonna immediately tell you how to actually do proper bracing. You want to breathe in and imagine like you're expanding your torso. You're making yourself fat on purpose. A visual way to do it is, imagine you're about to get punched. Like, I'm about to punch you in the stomach. I want you to breathe and just get ready for the impact, basically. Yeah. So when you breathe in, you force the oxygen to like go against your stomach. I'm not a scientist or anything. I'm just explaining how it works with my own words, by the way. So yeah. So you push this. Imagine this cylinder is your body. You make it stiff by increasing pressure, just like a soda can. We've all seen the example. You can probably find YouTube shorts of this. If you step on a soda can that's not open, it will not break. You will be able to stand on it. But if it's empty, you get crushed. It crushes, your body crushes the can. You are the same thing. You are the exact same thing. So you want to keep the pressure like an unopened can. Now, so the theory is you keep the pressure by breathing in and holding it. And a belt basically helps you do that. This is kind of what it looks like, the diagram. So yeah. Anyways, that's basically all the basics done. Now, I'm gonna tell you why you should not use it. First of all, I will just completely be honest. If you use a belt, you will only get benefits. Yes, you will have extra supports. Basically, me not using a belt is kind of like leaving kilograms on my weights, basically. But why? I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, why you should not use a belt. Dependency. If you force yourself, if you just do not use a belt, you are forced to learn proper bracing. Basically, that's the entire point. You don't have a crutch. What is a crutch? So a crutch is quite literally the walking stick people use that can't walk. That's quite the literal definition. But there's also another meaning usually used in like video games as well. A crutch is basically something that helps bad players perform well, but in a no skill type of manner. It's like if you have this crutch, you can perform well without actually needing to be good. You can make mistakes without being punished. Which, yeah, it's good in the short term, you can perform well. But if you actually want to get good at something, you want to avoid the crutch so you can actually learn how to do it properly. In this case, you can learn to brace properly. And I am 100% sure too, if you see a lot of people, they have this mindset. If I go to the gym, I want to hit a PR, I don't have my belt, I can't. I am nothing. I don't like having that dependency on something. That's the first reason why I don't use a belt. Second, ego lifting. As I said earlier, wearing a belt means your bracing is assisted. And if you can brace well and also get the assistance, you will be able to lift heavier. What does that mean? If you have that belt and you have the confidence that you can lift, if you have that belt and you can have the confidence that you will be able to lift heavier, you will have more of a tendency to max out frequently. Maxing out frequently without proper recovery, without doing it right, injury. Injury. Next, maintenance. Let's just think about it first. Most of these like big leather lifting belts, they're big. What does that mean if it's big? It physically takes up space. You need to bring the damn thing in your bag. That's one extra thing you need to remember to bring when you go to the gym. And if let's say you're like me, you only use a motorcycle, that's quite a lot of space. That's basically another thing I need to think about bringing. Not to mention, you need to put it on first before lifting, and after you're done with the set, you need to take it off, and all that stuff. Ribet pa ko niya, and you need to wash the damn thing. I don't think it's worth spending all that time and money just for that. Now, next. This is one of the main reasons that I want you to really pay attention, because if you actually have the mental bandwidth for this, you will be able to understand my explanation. But most people just will not understand this at all. So the point I'm trying to make is, you're not a pro athlete. I did mention earlier, right, how if you don't use a belt, you're basically living kilograms, right? A belt quite literally helps you. If it's an assist, if it assists you, it will be able to push you further than if you don't have it, right? I'm gonna be real with you. If you're just like me, a normal gym goer, is it really worth it? That belt, everything, to like, on a certain day, get a few kilograms extra for a PR? Or can't you just, wait, be patient, play the long game, and eventually hit that PR when you actually get stronger, become more skilled, and have better technique? I prefer the second part. I'm more of the long game thing. And here, some people say the argument to why you should wear a belt is because pro athletes use it. If you look at weightlifting competitions and powerlifting competitions, they use a belt. And to that I say, yeah, that's completely valid for them. Why? Because they're professional athletes. For them, getting a 1 kilogram more higher total compared to people they're competing with is the difference between a gold and silver medal. It's the difference between a gold and a silver medal. It's the difference between getting a medal or not at all. If you have a 300 kilo total and your opponent has a 301 kilogram total, he wins, even though it's that little. And you basically need everything that you can to have the advantage. That's for athletes. But we are not a pro athlete. So it's not really a valid point in my opinion. And honestly, that's the 4 main points. And to summarize everything, and also, before I end this, the number one benefit of not using a belt is, once you transition from going with a belt, without a belt, yes, your lifts will go down. But because you don't have the belt, and because you are forced to learn proper bracing, you actually increase in structural strength. Sorry, I'm not really that good at saying R's. So yeah, maybe your squat will go down, but because you are forced to learn the proper bracing technique, you will actually be stronger as a person. Yes, your strength in the squat maybe go down, but you will be stronger in terms of bracing, in terms of actually having structural integrity in your body. That's what I'm trying to say here. You get weaker in the squat maybe, but you get stronger in controlling your body, in being structurally good. And this actually really trains your core. It has more of a carryover to your normal life. And that's my point. That's my lecture on how to lift heavy without a belt and why you shouldn't wear a belt. The reasons why you should not. Now, I'm going to state once again, yes, this video I told you why you should not use a belt. But if you do want to use a belt, go ahead. The purpose of this video is to tell you why you should not use a belt. And by that, I told you why you shouldn't use it and also the benefits of without using a belt. At the end of the day, it's your decision. I hope this video has made you smarter basically. I hope with this video, once and for all, you will actually know the reason why people wear a belt. The reason why you will wear a belt or why you don't wear a belt. That's it. I'm trying to be informative with this video and I hope you can learn something from the video, from this lecture that I just gave you. Now, with this skill, with the knowledge I just gave you, you can now go get the training whether you're going to choose to use a belt or not. Once again, that's on you. You have the knowledge now to make the right decision. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in this lecture. My name is Tata. You can subscribe. I do really recommend you to subscribe if you really love these kind of lecture stuff, because I do a lot of these in my channel where I go in depth, where I explain all of this stuff in maybe a format you've probably never seen anyone do before. So yes, once again, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next lecture and heavy lifting. By that I mean good luck on your next heavy gym session, whether you decide to use a belt or not. Yeah, basically like that. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.